Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, I had other plans actually. I wanted to get some cowboy candy made, but plans changed. I don't have enough apple cider vinegar, which got me to thinking. I had a big bag of apples sitting on the counter that a friend had given me that needed to get processed. I had intentions. My plans were to either make it into apple butter or sliced apples. But then I ended up with all of our garden produce plus stuff that my friend gave me. And I don't have time. I don't have time to deal with the apples. The apples kind of are time consuming. So they're sitting there. And some of them I've had to toss because they started going bad. I brought some out to the horse. The kids have ate some. But this was a whole big, like, half garbage bag full of apples. So, with me running into the apple cider vinegar issue, all the apple cider vinegar I had was stuff that I had previously made from apple cider. I think it was just apple cider. Maybe from scraps at one point too. But I can turn these apples into apple cider vinegar. I'm going to show you how you can turn apples or apple scraps. You don't have to use the whole apple. You could use the peel and the core. Again, I don't have the time to deal with making the other stuff, so I might as well just utilize the whole apple and turn it into apple cider vinegar. Let's dive in. So first things first, guys, is you're going to take your apples and literally just cut them. There's no special way of cutting them. You're just going to cut them up into pieces. And like these apples are already starting to get a little soft, get a little bit brown in spots. They need to do something. And you're going to throw them into your container of choice. I'm using a half-gallon mason jar. But you can use a crock, whatever you choose. I'm going to cut these spots out that are a little bit softer than I'd like. And just those pieces are just going to have to go into the compost or whatever. But it happens. Sometimes you can have the best of intentions and just, it doesn't happen that way. She had asked if I wanted them, and we went through a lot of them, but we just weren't going through them fast enough. And that's okay. We're at least using them now. Again, like I said, you could just use the skins. You don't have to use the whole apple. But I'm using the whole apple. Because I'm not going to use the rest of the apple for anything else. If I would have been smart, I would have started this a while ago. I think I got these right before I went to Arizona. And I thought, well, when I get back, I'll take care of them. I also was hoping the kids would eat some more while I was gone, but they didn't. So, let those pieces go to the trash. Like, these are all starting to get soft spots in them. It's okay. It's okay. So I've got all our apples cut up, and I got 4 half-gallon jugs, or containers. So the next step, you would put for every 1 cup of water you put in, ideally filtered water, you're going to put 1 tablespoon of sugar in. That sugar is just to help keep the beneficial bacteria alive while it ferments. Because the apples do have plenty of beneficial bacteria that you don't want to just kill off. So So we're going to leave this one at 6 cups because I don't want to go to that 7 cup mark. So we can pretty much say it's going to be 6 cups. I'm just going to basically go with that because that's now 2 in a row that we had 6 cups in. So now we're going to add the sugar, which we have 6 cups, so we need 6 tablespoons of sugar, which is equivalent to 12 of these bags. I got these while I was on vacation, and I'm just trying to use them up because they're just taking up space. So this is just an easy way to use them up fast. Okay guys, so once you have your sugar added in, I stirred it up. You're going to, this isn't a necessary step, but it does help speed up the process. Add some of your apple cider vinegar that you have, like basically a tablespoon roughly into each jar. That just helps speed up the process. So roughly a tablespoon that gets everything in there that you want, basically. So once that's done, now you're just going to put basically something that's breathable over it. You don't want to put it in closed lid, but you don't want something that fruit flies can get into. Coffee filters work great. Cheesecloth is okay, but you have to be careful with that because sometimes fruit flies can get through that. So you just want something that's breathable to let the gases out, but won't let fruit flies in. I use the coffee filters. Nice thing with coffee filters is even if some of this gets on there, it gets wet, it doesn't tend to rip. And you can still take your lids that go to these jars, fit it over the jar, and through the coffee filter, screw it on. And it stays. So it works perfect. If you don't have a band to put on whatever jar you're using, you could use rubber bands as well. It just makes the next step kind of a challenge. In a cool, dark place, so that way sunlight isn't hitting it and it's less prone to getting moldy. But you want to stir it every day for 2 weeks. During that time, the apples will turn brown, your liquid will get cloudy, and you're likely to see small bubbles. That's all normal. You'll also notice it starts smelling kind of like a apple cider, an alcoholic apple cider. But that's all normal. That's all part of the process. You're fine. If you notice fuzzy mold, that's what you don't want to see. So watch for fuzzy mold. Don't worry about it getting cloudier and everything else. After 2 weeks of the daily stirring, you're going to strain those apples. I like using the fine metal mesh handheld strainers. It's going to take a couple times. Dump the liquid into a bowl and get the apples out of there. Around that time, you'll also notice that a lot of the apples start to sink to the bottom and they're not floating anymore. So that's another kind of obvious reason or way you can see that it's obviously ready to strain. So you're going to give it 2 weeks of stirring daily, and then you're going to dump and strain the apples. Then you're going to return them back into a jar, preferably a clean jar, and you're going to let it continue to ferment. Keep it stored in that cool, dark place, and it's going to be at least another month. Typically closer to 2 months. It's about 2 months total, 2.5 months before it's ready. The longer it ferments, the stronger the taste may get. So you can start testing it probably around that 2-month mark from when you started. The longer it ferments too, it's converting that alcohol away and creating more of a vinegar taste. So the sooner you take this off the shelf and say it's ready, you're going to taste more alcohol. Once that's done, or during that time, you also may get a SCOBY, which is kind of like a jello-like white substance, sometimes yellowish substance, depends on the color of the liquid too. But it's like a jelly, thick, weird-looking thing. That's safe, that's fine, don't freak out, it's not mold, it is not anything to be worried about. You actually want to see that, that's a good sign. Once you're ready to enjoy it, bottle it up. If you put it in the fridge, it will slow down the fermenting so it doesn't keep getting stronger, because it will continue to ferment on the shelf. And you're good for at least 5 years. First 2 years it's the freshest, but you got at least 5 years for use out of it. So that's how you make your own apple cider, your own apple cider vinegar. Yes, I'm saying the right thing. Apple cider vinegar out of apple scraps or apples. Simple, easy. Why buy it at the store? Unless you're like me and you don't realize you're out. But hope you guys learned a little something. Keep on canning, keep on learning, keep on being self-reliant, and stay kind, because you don't know what anyone is going through, and we'll catch you on the next one.